Hey guys, it's middle of July 2019. Wanted to just give you a quick update today of things going on that you have made possible through your gifts and through your prayers. Listen, this video is going to be all about an interview with a guy named Sean Patrick. Many of you know he is the connector for us in Salt Lake City, but he went overseas on a trip and took the messages and the values and the teachings of Worship Catalyst to another country. And I wanted you to listen to how it translated over. And then you'll just kind of see how your gifts and your prayers and your partnership with us is making a difference in places that you don't even know. So anyway, God bless you guys. Thanks for taking a minute and watching this video. This is Sean Patrick. He is a Worship Catalyst connector up in Salt Lake City, Utah. Has been for, what is it, 2 years, 3 years? How long have you been doing this? 3 years?
Almost three. Yeah.
Almost 3 years. Yeah. So Sean's awesome, man. He's helped a ton of churches. In fact, he's almost helped all of them. He's got the church plants all functioning well right now, so it's been great.
No, we're done. Yeah, I get to.
We're done, right? On a different note, Sean just got back from Guatemala, where he was on a mission trip with a team of people from was it from your church or your city?
Yeah, it was the church.
And got a chance to kind of speak some of the Worship Catalyst values to leaders there. Sean, just talk for a minute and tell us how that went. What'd you do? How'd that go? What was exciting?
Well, our relationship with our Guatemalan church down there, it's Iglesia Galilea. Their senior pastor specifically asked us a year ago if we would speak on the topic of worship because they've really struggled in that area. And so I'm sitting at the meeting with my senior pastor and a few other pastors at our church, and they all just stared right at me and said, "Okay, you're going to do it." And so, yeah, you're the guy. And so what we ended up doing was, this is our third year with our church running a pastors conference, and it's been attended, but not like gangbusters. This year we had 130 churches or pastors represented in this for this conference. It was a 2-session conference. We ended up also taking some of the ladies and did a separate conference for them. But yeah, in the room, some churches brought worship teams. Some churches, their pastors were involved, their worship leaders were involved. I mean, just the room was full of people. And so the first bit, we kind of broke down what worship is. And then the whole second session was essentially a just abbreviated version of Radical Worship Solution.
Right.
So we worked through the values. I added one, but I think it could be synonymous with unity. We added team ministry as one of them.
Love it.
And so functioning out of team, working out of team, and then work through all the values. And we had pastors losing their minds, like at the end of it, like taking pictures of us like we were rock stars, like, but it was really cool. Like nobody's really taken the time to really, I think, really invest in the area of worship. There's just been a lot of fighting in that. And so at least what we aim to do is give them some common ground to work off of. And I really do feel like that, that went well. It was really well received, so much so that another church asked us if we would be willing next year to come out and do the same talk and to invite more people from, down further south than where we were at in Guatemala. So,
nice.
So they want to do that again. And I ended up actually doing it 2 or 3 times that week.
Wow.
With other worship teams and just kind of walking through them. I preached more in Guatemala this last week than I did, than I think I have in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
But it was really fulfilling, and it was really good to have a set of tools that I could give to them that they could go home and start working with. And so,
this is the thing about the Radical Worship Solution. It's the book on values that we wrote on how to lead ministry as based on values. And we wanted to have teams share the same language, right? Yes. So humility, unity, authenticity, all those. And the thing that's amazing is everybody always asks us, well, what do you do about ethnic churches? What do you do about language speaking churches? What do you do about African churches or about Middle Eastern churches or whatever? And it's like, well, we do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
We teach them what the Bible says about how to function together and what worship is, and then really every other decision can be made as long as it's made in the context of a shared value set.
Right. I mean, of those, of all the values there, I think we spent the biggest chunk on excellence and unity. Those were the two that we ended up spending the most time with, because I mean, a lot of these people, and I think it's universal to the worship scenario in church, that like, well, I don't have Hillsong's personnel, and so I can't pull this off. No, that's not what that means. It means that you, like, if you have a piano player and somebody with a heart to lead worship, then lead with excellence with that.
Do the best you can with what you got, right?
Do the best you can with what you got. And then the unity side of stuff, because I mean, even you could see after with worship, some of these pastors talking with their worship leaders and them not agreeing.
Right.
So like that, as we saw that in the break, when we launched into unity, it was this really good eye-opening thing for some of their pastors to recognize, like, hey, I don't get to just to rule, to run this whole thing. Like they're called to do this as well. And there might be some area for compromise here to fight for unity above anything else, because like in the point that's made is like, if unity's not there, you don't have worship. And so like, if you're fighting that, then if you're wondering why worship isn't happening in your church, look to unity first. Yeah. And so really just breaking those things out with those guys was a really encouraging time. I was exhausted by the end of it because, after you finish, you've got, 17,000 questions at the end of it, on their the unique scenario that they have, which none of them really are unique. It's just like, no, you just need to press into this.
Do what I just said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here's the book, translate it into Spanish for yourself, and then do that.
Yeah. Do what we said. Then that should help you.
So you're kind of the Chris Tomlin / Billy Graham of Guatemala, best I can tell.
I'm something in Guatemala. I don't know what I am. But,
you're really white. That's what you are.
I am the gringo of gringos down there, and it's a good thing. So
thanks for what you do, man. And I thank you for taking the worship message to another country. And man, it sounds like it's just the beginning, really, because they're gonna want more. So it's cool. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.